Well, good evening, Academy 55. David Kahn here on Thursday, the 31st of July, 2025. It's 5 to 7 in the evening here in the UK, and we're looking at the EUR USD and the US 100, also known as the NAS 100 indices, or using the Academy 55 indicators and strategy. So, what we can see here first, I thought I'd bring this to your attention. This is this afternoon. What happened? First, we'll have a look at the EUR USD because there was a buy at 14 minutes past 3 here in the UK in the afternoon. Let's study this in a bit more detail because I'll put it on the 5-minute time frame. And here we can see, there we go. This is that. Price went into the buy zone, skipped along the buy zone. So we knew to take the next buy. So indeed, go down to the minute time frame. And so there is the next buy. Quarter past 3, more or less quarter past 3. Get our buy alert there. Green trend, green volume ribbon, green wave. This time we were 7.6 pips stop loss because you wouldn't have got in before that candle there. So, but that would have given you a 7.6 stop loss because that's where your stop loss would be, where the red wave changes to the green, and up we go for a nice 2%. So that was quarter past 3 in the afternoon for the EUR USD, and consequently for the NAS 100, also known as the US 100, at 17 minutes past 2. Same sort of scenario. If I go to the 5-minute time frame, you'll see that the price was indeed in the sell zone on the 5-minute at around about 2 o'clock-ish. So we know to take the next sell. So we go down to the minute, and it was helped along greatly because at 2:30 we had lot greater volume. See how the candles are smaller, but after 2:30 they more or less nearly, well, more than triple in size, and you would have keeping 2,000 units. That's the equivalent of 2 pips on the in Forex world, 2,000 units for the indice US 100. And again, red trend. There's a seller already for you. Got the red trend. There's where the stop loss would be, where the green wave started to turn red. And there's your 2,000 units. So you would have got into that down there, and down she goes. So there was 2 nice opportunities, classic zonal opportunities for us. But right now, let's get back to live. And we will put it on. We're on the NAS 100. So I put it on the 5-minute time frame. And here we are on mark up the horizontal ray for the sell zone. But there are no buy zones. Not yet, anyway. So we will let's see how, if we've missed this opportunity on this sell. Keeping 2,000 units. 200 0. The line chart on. And indeed, yeah, we've well missed the opportunity now because, well, if it comes up to this area again, and we get another red candle, then I would be interested in taking that. But and it would actually be there because that's the red trend. So we come, actually we could, what we could do is we could put the stop loss there, but you wouldn't want to get it back in again until the parabolic star flips, if indeed it does, and that's where you would be getting in. Well, no, I'm lying. You would actually be getting in down on the trend line when it's down there, keeping 2,000 units away. But that is in case it flips again. So the price would have to go all the way down there. So you lock a stop loss in where the trend line is, which is there, because that's the nearest to your entry. And if it does flip it, then we could be in for another sell. But we're more likely to be in for the, well, we don't know yet, but could likely be in for the buy. Consequently, let's have a look at where we are. I'll draw it up on TradingView so it's easier to understand. There's the trend line, 2 pips away, 2,000 units, sorry, which is there, 2 to 1. But you wouldn't be getting into the trade until price goes down there to flip. Parabolic sort of flew up the right way again. And that's where you would actually be getting in once the parabolic sort of flipped. You'd be continuing to sell down there. It's a little bit more different to what you're used to. But that's what you would be doing if indeed we still activate on the sell. If we go for the buy, then this is the scenario for the buy. Long position. Again, 2,000 units. Which is there. In anticipation of the wave going to green, your 2 to 1 would be there at the moment. So either one of these trades, if anything happens, could be valid, of course. On the EUR USD side, so we'll keep that there to keep an eye on that. Let's have a look on the EUR USD. Out of the two, I'd much prefer the NAS100 because the EUR USD is see, we've got a buy, that buy zone still active down there. Horizontal ray. Let's go back on the minute. And as you can see, I don't like the look of this, the way price is going with the, it's a lot more sideways consolidated movement with, so I wouldn't mind paper trading this one anyway. Short position, keeping a minimum of 2.2 pips away. You would have got in there because that's where the trend line was. And you would have, yeah, you would have got in on that one. And your 2% would have been down here. And let's see if that one would actually work. looking at it's going to get stopped out more or less immediately. Yeah, I would say with commission, you would have got stopped out on that. And we are much too late for the party for the sell on the NAS100, really. But nice to see so many people on this evening. Some regular faces and some new names as well. So this is where we are. Yeah, you like I say on the EUR USD, stop loss being there with commission. Yeah, we would have been stopped out on that. So now we're looking for the buy on the actually on the US 100. Stop loss there on the trend line. I'm going to carry on this sell on the US 100. Now this is a different to how we usually do it because we didn't activate on the sell the first time, and if we'd have been around at that time, we would have won. But I've taken a more riskier trade now, just to see if this works, and I don't see any reason why. Continuation of the sell down, waiting for the parabolic flip. Stop loss goes where the trend was, which is there. And let's see if we do get our 2%. And this is where we are with that. I don't really want to take buys on the EUR USD because basically EUR has stopped trading now because of market. The exchange is closed at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Oh, we're out already, are we? Could be. The idea is sometimes, a lot of the time, they kiss the trend line and then carry on down again. So hopefully this will be the case. But I'm very, very close to being stopped out. And this isn't a regular trade that I would take. I would have taken the trade on the first sell alert because we had a, hang on, we'll see on the, oh right, I thought we had a buy there. No, we didn't. Meanwhile, on the EUR USD, keeping 2.2 pips away. Buy alert there. So you would have effectively been in, that's where your stop loss would be, would effectively been in there. So your 3.3 pips, and your 2% would be way up there on the EUR USD. So we can I'm hoping very much that price will come up and rest on the purple line. That's part of our indicator. That's the EMA 462, 462 of those. So I'm hoping that would actually rest on that. And that's where the stop loss is, because the red wave beats the green, and also the trend line's there also, which is turning green. So I like to keep a minimum of 2.2 pips away, but in reality, time you would have got there, you would have been 3.3 pips away. But we're paper trading this one, and I'm in this trade here, just because there's no buy zones down here. And I like the fact that EUR USD, I'd much prefer out of the two for the time. I much prefer the US 100 as opposed to the EUR USD. But trading never works. It's not all written in stone like that. It's not all written in stone like that. So we'll see what happens. There's my trade on the US 100. And I would have let's do away with that so we don't confuse you. Which really we would have taken there. And as you can see, we would have got our 2% by now. To prove that, we would have let's just open this up a bit. Short position, 2,000 units. Which is there. 2 to 1, which is there. And as you can see, stop loss will be on the trend line. And as you can see, if I was around 10 to 7, well, I wasn't, because I was preparing my live. But if I would have been there, I would have been, I could have got that trade thanks to the indicator first time around. But I tried on the second time around. Oh, there we go. That's the first time around. And as you can see, I'm going to probably be out on this one. Let's see, I might have already been out with commission. Let's see. Yeah, indeed I am. So it didn't work for me this secondary sell occasion. So I was just trying that one. But we'll keep that on. We're paper trading EUR USD. Sod's law would indicate that this probably will get to 2%, and this one will fail abysmally. But there we go. That's the way it goes. So just time to play this now.
Hi, this is Steve with a very short video to show you where to get the training for the indicators and tools we use inside Academy 55. So once you're logged into the members area, you'll see in the premium dashboard this section that's entitled Start Learning. And if you click here, that'll take you through to the learning library. Now, we'll say at this point, we highly recommend you watch each of these videos 2 or 3 times to get a full understanding of how everything works. Here you'll find tutorials on using the MT4 Trade Assistant and how to use the MT4 platform with the Trade Assistant. This is the longest video you'll find inside the platform. It's around 30 minutes long, well worth your time. Watch the video once, then maybe write a few questions down that you might have for yourself, and watch the video for a second time, and things will really start to make sense. By the time you watch it 3 times, you'll fully understand how everything works. So that's the longest video. It's about 30 minutes long, well worth your time. And then you can jump into individual trainings here for how to remove indicators. These videos are just a couple of minutes long. How to move MetaTrader around like you can in TradingView, Trading Assistant controls, how to do back testing in TradingView, how to draw vertical lines to mark out your hour, and so much more. And by the time you watch this video or see this video, there might be other trainings in this section. But everything here is well worth your time, and you find that, as I said a moment ago, from the main dashboard in the Start Learning section. Now, one more thing just to mention here. If you're looking for anything in particular, if you come down to the support name of FAQs, click on Get Support, and in this area you'll find a detailed FAQ section, and you can come through here. For example, if you're looking for an answer to a question about MetaTrader, have a look through these, and once you click through you'll find direct links to videos that give you answers to most of the questions that we get asked on a regular basis. So hopefully you found this useful, and back to your further training.
Yeah, thanks very much, Steve. Right, so there we go. Look, I won't be doing that again, though. I mean, this is the trade I took trying to capitalize on this large sell. And if I took it, if I was available at 10 to 7, obviously I wasn't because I was preparing for tonight's trade. But I took it a second time, waiting for the parallel flip. And that little, hang on, let's get, where's the tools gone? Oh, there we are. This little spike here with commission actually got me out of the trade. But it gives you an insight. Maybe an idea of maybe a way you might want to trade. It does happen. I don't think we should be doing this, because the whole basis of, I'm a bit conflicted really, because the whole basis of Academy 55 was to keep it really, really simple. Activate on a sell alert. Yeah, so please forgive me, I should never have done that. I'm going to take that off right now. But I like trying these things out, and it nearly got away with it. Apart from that spike there, it got me out. So we're waiting for a buy on the US 100. I paper traded this one. I don't know. I really didn't want to get into the EUR USD because, like I said, the actual exchange, the Euro exchange, is closed at 4 o'clock this afternoon, our time, UK time. So that's my reasoning for not getting into that buy. So I just paper traded it. And indeed, because of my stupidity of because of 0.2 of a pip, I was taken out of this trade. And because of my stupidity, I won't be bitten twice tonight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cool myself down, and I am going to paper trade any future trades we have within the next 40 minutes while we're on. But I'd love to hear your comments on what you've just seen. If you have any questions, I've just opened up the chat so people can chat to me and I'll get to see the questions. If they've got any questions about what they've just seen, please let yourself be known. Also on YouTube, if anybody's watching and wants to chat, there is a designated place on my YouTube channel where you can do just that. Right, so on the even 2,000 units. I'll be paper trading this. I'm not, although I was on demo because I reached my target, but that's no excuse really, because I treat each trade as a real trade. So there's no excuses on my part. I shouldn't have done that. I was trying to basically show you how versatile the Academy 55, and with a little bit of tweaking and artistic license, it could be possible to continue on a very large sell, which is what I was seeing there, but it didn't work for me. So I'm not going to be doing that again. But right now, we wouldn't be getting into this trade on the US 100. Even though we got a buy alert, we only got a green volume ribbon. Even the wave hasn't turned green yet, but that's where it will if it does. Raj was in. He was in quick in and out. He got £972. I take it you got $100,000 prop firm account. Is that right, Raj? So Raj, and which one was you on? Was you on the EUR USD or the US 100? He was on the US 100. So he got down to here and then decided to take it out. Saw a green, presumably saw a green candle. Oh, that's good enough for me. Bit opportunist. Can't teach that. So that's why we go for 2%. Can't really, well, we can't teach opportunistic opportunities. Bit nervy, Raj. Right. You don't go broke. You don't go broke taking a profit though. So with 2,000 units, that's where the stop loss would be. We can't get in until price gets here anyway. In anticipation of the trend line turning green at any time now. I'm paper trading this. And one could say the trade I took here that only just stopped me out was an experiment. The EUR USD trade, as you can see, is because price is now at the purple line. In reality, I'd be putting my stop loss to my entry for break free, or even up to that parallel saw there. And that would give me, well, nearly a full 1%, just in case we have a turnaround. But I didn't take that trade, just paper trading it. And now, as you can see, with the green wave, that's where the stop loss is. And now, near enough, getting into the trade now, keeping 2,000 units away, which is 2,000. That is 2,000. So now I'm in the trade now, paper trading. The because of my stupidity, I'm punishing myself in a certain respect because I'm not going to be trading because I recognize how stupid I was. I'm not desperate to trade, and nor should anybody be. Because that's what I do. If I do think I act stupid, I do reprimand myself more than anybody else can. And as you can see, that trade, even though I didn't take it, and even though I didn't want to be on the EUR USD, that's a perfect fine example of the Academy 55 strategy. Green trend, green wave, buy alert, up she goes. There we go. Same thing with this one here. This sell alert, red wave, red trend. This time the stop loss goes on the trend line because that is closest to our 2,000 units or more, but minimum 2,000 units. And indeed, that is where the stop loss would be because that's closest to the entry. And as you can see, that went down for 2. But me being trying to be rather smart, I tried to take a secondary trade as an experiment. It's worked for me personally in the past. And I just wondered, but I shouldn't be doing that in front of you guys because we're all about simplicity, 1 or 2 trades a day. But I'm only human. Nearly got away with it as well if it wasn't for that 0.2 of a wick there. But there we go, that's trading. But then again, 0.2 of a wick there helped me get my 2% if I'd have actually been trading this for real. So swings and roundabouts, swings and roundabouts. So as we can see, paper trading this buy going up. Look, we got our 2% on that one as well. So I hope I taught you guys a lesson by not winning there. Did anybody appreciate the lesson that I inadvertently gave you guys of how not to do it? I'm sure some of you may have tried to do that in the past, but we haven't got any. I've got no back testing on that. I have no back testing on the trade I took. Raj says interesting. Well, only in the fact that we'll stick to what we know, and all good lessons. Well, yeah. And to be fair, you did say it was to see what happens. Yeah. Thank you, Anna. But I should never have done it because we haven't all the Academy 55 green, 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 buy alert, green, 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 sell alert, red, 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 has been back tested, has been verified. What I did there has not been back tested or verified, and I was just being a smart ass. And I feel very silly now because it didn't work. But good for me that I was on demo, but I'm still feeling very responsible for not behaving the way I should have behaved. But there we go. But I did reprimand myself by not making sure I didn't spend any more money because I was in that sort of mindset. That's the thing. Don't feel silly because it could have easily been a corker. But then again, that would be misleading, Anna. I know what you're saying, but that would have been misleading because that would have been experimental and it could have been a one-off. What I'm trying to do is being consistently consistent by acting off the buy alert. So what I did there was totally out of character for me, really, to be fair, but I should never have done that. Just a mad 2 minutes on my part. Anna managed to get some money out of it. So good for you, Anna. And Raj did as well. So good for you. But as a trade, we should not be doing that because, like I said, there's no back testing results for what I done. These are proven. That one isn't. That's the whole point. So I please treat it as a lesson of how not to enter a trade. Unless you've done this several times before, at least a month's worth of just those trades, and you found good results. Any gaps to fill? All right, okay. So look. Fair value gaps, Raj. Let's have a look. Right, we're going on the US 100. Let's go on the daily. Let's take away the indicators off first. Here, today, the US 100 reached the highest it's ever been. there. But we keep saying, I remember saying that when we were there back. No, it wasn't there. It wasn't in February. It was there, there. Keep breaking new records. Anyway, sorry, by the by. So it's just going up and up and up to the moon. So going to the 4 hourly, we have all this. Let's get my all this area here on that candle there, on the 4 hourly candle, and that one. That is all imbalance for fair value gap that needs to be filled. So we'll mark that up. It's a sell fair value gap. So it needs to be red. Actually, I've got it all bunched up too small, haven't I? But indeed, this does need to be filled, and this bit up here as well. This candle is a 4 hourly candle. It's a fair value gap imbalance because there is no buying side on that side, no buying on that side yet, but there will be, if this continues up, obviously it will be filled. So see, that could, oh no, hang on. That's interesting. I want to show you this. This little bit down here, little smidge down here. Change it to green because it's a buy fair value gap, although it's very small. But then again, when they're really small like that, I don't know how accurate the you see you. There we go. Because let me explain. No selling power on that side of the candle, no selling power on that side of the candle, but there was selling power down here that made that wick. So all that bit of that candle has been equalized because of that wick there. So it's just this small portion that needs to be filled back in at some stage. So we've got this imbalance here and here. But this is on the 4 hourly candle. It's quite a long way away as yet. So and sometimes I draw them on the hourly. And here they are on the hourly. I don't go any lower than that because of the significance. It's more, they're a lot more significant on the higher time frames. Blimey, you've got good eyes, says Raj. Well, you get used to seeing it when you've been doing it for a while. You get used to seeing them, Raj. That's the main thing. And there are actually indicators that you can get on TradingView that will automatically point them out for you. But I won't. I don't want you to. I don't certainly don't want to be give you any more indicators than necessary, but there is an automatic indicator that will point these out for you automatically. That's all I'm going to say on that. But when you've been doing it a long time, your eyes get drawn to them. And I like seeing how they've been equalized by the price action going down, and this wick down here equalized most of that candle, and so on and so forth. You just get to see them, like, you know. But as I say, that's a long way away yet, so maybe one to watch out for tomorrow. But getting back to tonight, as you can see, put the indicator back on. I'm quite happy to show you two clear examples of a sell and a buy on the NAS100. That's good. So guys, let's have a look at the EUR USD. Oh, there we go. That was another successful one. Some good examples tonight of the Academy 55 and how we actually go about taking trades with it. Waiting for the green parallels are below, buy alert, green volume movement, green trend. And up we go. And consequently, we got a good sell example here. Red wave, red trend. That's where the trend is below the wave this time. That's why stop loss is there, because it's closest to the entry. And down we go over 2%. And a good example on the buy. This time, the trend's down here, so the wave is closest to the entry. Green volume ribbon, green trend, green wave, and up we went for another 2% example. So pleased with that. And I even got to show you how not to trade using the Academy 59. So all life is here. So if you have anything final you'd like to add or any questions, please feel free right now. If not, we've had good examples from this afternoon with the zones and these good examples tonight. So there's more and enough stuff to get your teeth into I'm back on again at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Oh, that's another thing I could show you. August the 1st tomorrow. Now I'm not, well, 9 o'clock does give me a nice bit of a lie-in, but also because of that, I'm worried. I'm on my FX book now. So we're on Friday, the 1st of August. And all right, let's go to Friday, 1st of August. Please bear with me. I am worried about 8:30 tomorrow morning. We've got Swiss results, which we've seen affect when we've been trading before, and we've got high impact news, and we've also got news at 9 o'clock. But I will remind myself that I won't be taking a trade right away. I'll let that one calm down a bit, see what happens with that, and then we've got all these others here, high impact news at 9 o'clock. So during my tomorrow, we'll watch these, and then after 9:15, for example, if a trade becomes available, then I would be. See, I'm not really worried about that. That's Greek. No disrespect to the Greek, but they're broke. So whatever happens with Greek isn't going to move the markets one iota. But the Swiss news and all that other news will make the markets news move. Hence, coming on to you at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. And this is what you should be doing, planning your day out as well when you want to trade. So, and I was thinking about coming even later, giving myself an even later lie on, but at 10 o'clock, we've got some more Euro news, high impact news. So I thought, get at 9 o'clock, and we'll wait for that news to settle down. If we're in conjunction with a zone or whatever. Let's see at the time anyway, we never know. And we'll just see how bad the Swiss news was and the Euro news is. So I'll see you guys tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock in the morning here in the UK. Do appreciate you being on. There's no other questions. So have a great night, and we'll speak to you tomorrow morning. So cheers for now. All the best. Bye.